Okay, this is Mike at Lone Star Guns again. I just wanted to show you how we did our world famous brake locker glass rod trigger job. This is an M1 Garand trigger housing group, and in this part of the trigger right here, this is the sear and this is the engagement hooks on the trigger, and this is the hammer. So in order for this trigger to work, I'm going to hold the hammer so it doesn't fall on my finger. For the trigger to work, you pull the trigger backwards and this part will disengage and let the trigger go forward, like so. See how it comes forward? And when it comes forward, it bumps up against the back of the sear right here and lets go, and then the hammer comes forward. If you continue to hold the trigger down and the hammer comes back with the gun cycles, then the sear will catch the hammer and the hammer will not fire in full auto mode. So it's very important when you do a trigger job that you don't overdo it, or you might have a runaway gun. The purpose in our doing a trigger job is to make it smooth and to make it break crisply. Our purpose is not to lighten the trigger so as to make it a hair trigger or to make it dangerous. And in order to make sure we've done that properly, we use some good old school NRA trigger weights, which we hang on the trigger and make sure it can take at least 5 pounds. Now when we get ready to do that trigger job, we disassemble this trigger housing assembly and we put it aside, and we put the trigger in a fixture like this trigger stoning fixture, which must be properly and precisely adjusted and mounted. And once all those things are done exactly right, then what we do is take a stone and we polish the surfaces exactly precisely, so those surfaces, which very often have nothing on them but metal oxide like this one does, become polished and smooth, and then when they engage with the sear and with the hammer, they move very smoothly and easily instead of grating along. So what we do is polish the oxide off of this and make sure that the engagement hooks are polished, but we don't remove any metal at all. So we are not going to make this trigger a hair trigger or a dangerous trigger. We're just going to make it a very nice trigger and a very crisp trigger that breaks just like a glass rod.